Hello and welcome to the newest edition of our bi-monthly newsletter from everyone here off Peace to Wealth. And today I thought it prevalent to talk about the end of the tax year, which is coming up on the 5th of April. So there's only 22 days left to get our affairs in order. And what this effectively means is that on the 6th of April, all our allowances and exemptions effectively restart. So it's a good idea to therefore get any last minute planning done now, as it provides a key opportunity to finally minimise any tax liabilities you have for the current tax year. As always, it's important to regularly review our investments to ensure that we're using the most tax efficient plans that suit our needs and objectives, alongside making sure that we've got the right investments that suit our needs. So for example, throughout the year, you may have various income and capital gains tax allowances which you can now take advantage of. Anything that you may have sold as a gain, you can utilise up to the £12,300 exemption and effectively not pay any tax on that. So as the old saying goes, use it or lose it. As I say, because the 6th of April, a lot of these exemptions and allowances will reset. So in this video, I wanted to lay out a few key areas for you to think about over the next few days. And also this gives some kudos in terms of the new tax year about things you may want to start thinking about early on. So here we go. The first key area, ISAs. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know we all have a £20,000 allowance to use each tax year. So from the 6th of April, the 20k allowance resets, and with ISAs there are no carry forward facility. So once that date hits, you can't carry forward any unused allowance. ISAs are a fantastic vehicle in that they offer completely tax-free growth, free of any capital gains, and also tax-free dividends, so income whenever you like. So please check also with your spouse or partner that they've also utilised this allowance if you can, and also for any children. So there's an additional £9,000 per child for a junior ISA to utilise, thereby further reducing any tax liability on your estate. And either a parent or guardian can set up a junior ISA, a great way to pass money down the generations. Coming on then to pensions, we all have a £40,000 tax allowance put into pensions. Carry forward is available for the past 3 years as long as you've been part of a UK pension scheme for pensions, so please do bear that in mind. But it's important to get as much into your SIPs and your pensions as possible, again, before the 6th of April hits. One other way of using pensions is by avoiding a rather unknown little sinkhole called the 60% tax trap, and effectively that happens over and above the £100,000 mark. If you're earning over and above that, your personal allowance is tapered away. And this is your personal allowance therefore reduces by £1 for every £2 of adjusted net income over the £100,000 mark. So your personal allowance of £12,570 slowly gets eaten away once you start earning over that £100,000 figure. And a way to do that is by adding into a pension, lowering your income below that £100,000 figure via salary sacrifice, for example, and thereby getting back your personal allowance and not paying that 6% tax charge effective rate. As I mentioned earlier, capital gains tax is also an important allowance to utilise. If you have any gains in the tax year, please make sure that you realise that up to the amount of £12,300 if you can, thereby meaning that you're not paying any tax within that band. This is especially important. This is actually reduced into £6,000 come April 2024 and then cut again to £3,000. Gifting as well, you can gift up to £3,000 per parent, which means that it is included in the value of your estate and therefore not liable for that inheritance tax charge. So if you wanted to gift away, £3,000 per parent. Dividends for your company owners and owners of stocks and shares. The dividend allowance is £2,000, but that again is being cut from the 5th of April to £1,000 and again to £500 from April 2024. So make sure you're utilising as much of that dividend allowance as possible. So in all that being said, we have a lot of allowances and exemptions. We actually have up to about £20,570 worth of tax-free income, believe it or not, each tax year, which is only accomplished if we structure our affairs in the most tax-efficient way. So where does this come from? Well, we've got £12,570 of personal allowance. This has been frozen up to 2025-26. We've got £5,000 zero rate starting rate band. This comes from savings income, but it's actually only applied where taxable income, not including dividends, is within £17,500. We've got £1,000 of a personal savings allowance, £500 if you're a higher rate, none if you're additional rate taxpayer, £2,000 worth of dividend allowance, and an infinite amount of tax-free income from both ISAs and venture capital trusts. Now, of course, some of these are agnostic as tax-free income, such as the personal allowance. However, for the personal savings allowance, for example, this needs to come from interest, i.e. from your bank account or interest distribution from a bond. Consequently, it becomes important as to how we structure our assets and our estate to take income, where to take income from, in order to make sure that you're making full use of these tax-free allowances. And this is where financial planning comes in to make sure that we're doing it throughout the duration of the tax year. So, as always, if you would like to understand have a full health check with myself, please do let me know. You can make time to run through these planning opportunities in more detail together. It goes without saying that it's always best to not leave these things into the last minute and to plan ahead throughout the whole duration of the tax year, not leaving things up to the last minute. However, hopefully these pointers have given you some food to thought, at least, not just up to the 5th of April deadline, but also throughout the next tax year and beyond. Thanks very much for listening. My name's David Gregory, Director and Owner of Peace 12. Look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks ever so much.